Greetings. We got a couple of short ones, and then a longer one. So this might be a short video. Maybe we'll just do it all in one. We'll see. We'll see. Let's start here. Do I need to mute this? I'm gonna mute it. Kitty. Oh, is this just a slideshow of the animals? Oh, it is. Is she gonna say anything? Oh, okay. Skip that one. Okay, so we got our third upload on November 24th. Squat challenge day 6. I just added this in here. It was just a slideshow.
I'm gonna change my clothes and then do my squats. Here we go. Alright, squats are done in real time. If I'm breathing a little hard, that's why. Okay, so I can tell you one thing. When I do these squats now, the front of my thighs hurt bad.
Yeah.
So, it could be two things. I'm doing these right and it's working, or I'm doing them wrong. I highly doubt I'm doing them wrong. But today is day 6 and I did it, so that's all that matters. I hope whoever else is doing this.
I feel like she's really not breathing much harder than usual. Again, trying to keep the commentary to a minimum, but I don't know if I fully believe that she's doing it.
Is following through and doing what they can. And remember, have a good day. Bye.
Okay, so she made it through 52 seconds. These little quick videos, I'm usually not surprised. Oh, yeah, I just came down to the comments. Why, for some reason, do I not believe she did any squats? But that's from 6 years ago. Has she, in the history of her channel, kept up with something like this for this long? For this long? Yeah, I'm a little skeptical myself. All right, so we're on an emotional look into my past, part 1. I think this is her longest upload yet. Yeah, we'll just get through this one real quick.
Hi everyone. I kind of wanted to talk about something different today. I made this vlog, channel, whatever you want to call it, for a few reasons. I enjoy watching so many different kinds of videos, whether it's funny or whether it's
Was that a watching?
Videos, whether it's funny or for a few reasons. I enjoy watching.
Let me put watching. I think, I don't want this to just be the een, so maybe we'll just add it there. I'm gonna put it in. Watching. There we go.
So many different kinds of videos, whether it's funny or whether it's beauty gurus or weight loss vlogs or just regular people vlogs, and I like what each and every single one of them has to offer. So as you can tell, I've put a lot of vlogs up, I put random tags up. Well, today I figured maybe you can get to know me and why I am the way I am now. So this video is going to be about my childhood and what led me up to where I am now, and I hope you stick around to watch it. So, I was born December 27th, 1990 in Key West, Florida. I do not remember anything about there at all. I moved to California with my parents when I was just a baby.
With who?
I do not remember anything about there at all. I moved to California with my parents.
Parents? That could be a stumble, so I'm gonna give her the nitpick. But I am gonna put parents.
When I was just a baby, and I grew up in California. But let's rewind a little bit. I
Wait,
remember
can you hear that again?
when I was just a baby, and I grew up in California.
Grew up on California. She is kind of stumbling her words. If she's just kind of stumbling, um, here one more time.
With my parents when I was just a baby, and I grew up in California.
Grew up on California. There we go.
But let's rewind a little bit. I remember as a younger girl, I did have a very, very hard childhood. My parents were drug addicts. They abused each other, neglected each other, but it's not just about the negative things in my life. I can remember the positives. We'd go camping.
Camping.
And I loved that.
Do a camping. And then go to We're at 9. Ooh.
Outdoors as a little girl. I was actually called the golden child because I was so tan. I was always on my bike, I was always swimming, and I was always chubby then too, but I didn't care. I went out and did things that little kids did. But as I got older, I started realizing more so that my parents weren't like normal parents. Their location of using drugs was in the bathroom. So every time I'd go in there, I knew that when they came out, they'd be a different person. It wasn't a good way to live, but I feel like drugs was in the bathroom.
Okay, I don't mean to nitpick in this section. I do need to hear that again, though.
So every time I'd go in there, I knew that when they came out, they'd be a different person.
Every time I went in, I knew that when they came out, they'd be a different person. Little pronoun inconsistency there. I really don't mean to nitpick on what she's talking about. It is actually really sad. Um, um, you know what? I'm not gonna put that whole sentence. I'm just gonna make a note of pronoun inconsistency. Yeah, I don't. It's a really rough topic to talk about.
Drugs was in the bathroom. So
I'm gonna put timestamp. We'll do 2:30.
every time I'd go in there, I knew that when they came out, they'd be a different person. It wasn't a good way to live, but I feel like it did make me stronger in a way. I went through a lot. When I was 8 years old, my mom said that she was pregnant with her third child. I already had a brother, and he's younger, so I'm the older child, and I was really happy. I was thrilled, actually. I knew she was doing drugs with him. Any 8-year-old wouldn't have a clue, but I had to grow up. I had to, in a way, be my own parent. So, when my brother was born, he was so adorable, and gosh, I loved him. As days went on, I did kind of take the role of being a parent in a way. I still remember one time in particular when my parents were on so many drugs that they were like passed out. My baby brother was crying and I wasn't sure why, so I went into the room of where they were, and it was
I remember this
because
story.
his crib was by a curtain, and the curtain string was
Oh
wrapped
my
around his.
god. I'm gonna give her a curtain, that's
Neck.
fine.
I will never forget that day as long as I live. Even now, it's emotional for me. His face was purple. He was screaming, crying, and to put it shortly, I had to save his life, and I did. And then I realized that I don't think my parents will ever change. I was a 9-year-old and I was taking on the role of being a mother. So one day when I was at school, I think 3rd or 4th grade, I got a call to the office. There were police there and I wasn't sure what was really happening, and come to find out, I was being put into foster care. I was being put into foster care with my one brother, but my little brother was being put into a separate home. After being in foster care for over a year, I was actually in a children's shelter for longer than that. I found out that my brother was actually going to be an adopted child. He was going to be put in closed adoption, which meant I would never be allowed to see him again. It broke my heart.
That's sad.
And it still does.
Yeah.
And it happened 12 years ago. In a way, I felt like my own child was being adopted. So it was just a hard time for me. After trying to accept it, I was thrown around into different foster homes and with my other brother, and soon we got separated. We were separated for a few years. It was very hard. A lot of the time I felt alone and just confused with life. When I turned 12, my parents finally decided to get their act together, and we went to court and we had a 6-month trial to live with them. And that trial turned into 2 years, but it was a failed trial. The whole time my family was just getting worse and worse. I started smoking marijuana. I turned to the wrong type of people to hang out with. My brother started acting out. He started hitting me. My parents got worse. Their drug addiction went to a whole new level. We actually lived in a trailer. That's mainly what I lived. Whenever I lived with my parents, that's mainly where we lived. It was the smallest trailer ever. And I never saw my dad, even though we were under the same roof. He had people coming in and out of the home all hours of the day, all hours of the night. to buy his drugs. Um, my parents actually got separated at this time, which was hard to handle. I guess it was best for them, but it was still hard. One day I was actually texting a friend and I told her that I wanted to die and I didn't want to be alive anymore. Her mom found the text message and her mom brought the text to my school and I ended up being put in a mental hospital. I didn't think I needed it. I wasn't really gonna kill myself. I was just really depressed and it was just, life was not going
You have to take that seriously every time someone says it, especially a child going through what she's talking about.
in how I wanted it to. When I got that 6-month trial to be with my family again, I honestly thought that they were going to change forever, but they didn't. Things got so much worse and I didn't know how to handle it. And saying I was going to die felt like the easiest answer. I was in the mental hospital for about 6 days and obviously they diagnosed me with depression, which I already knew. I was diagnosed with depression since the age of 10 and I was taking antidepressants for I don't even know how long. But after I left the mental hospital, I took a whole new meaning of life because I saw people in there that were mental. I'm not trying to be mean in any way, but I don't think I was meant to be there, but it did change my life.
Saw people that were mental. That is kind of a term. Saying someone is mental. I usually hear that from people from like the UK. Like, you're mental. Like, you're acting crazy. I'm gonna give her that one, I guess. It's not technically something I've never heard before.
And that I do appreciate. Every day since then, I never wished a day of my life that I wasn't alive.
Hmm.
So I'm not trying to be mean in any way, but I don't think I was meant to be there, but it did change my life. And that I do appreciate. Every day since then, I never wished a day of my life that I wasn't alive.
Is that fumbling words? Never wished a day on my life? That's what I heard. Can I give it a nitpick? Nitpick? Never wished a day on my life that I wasn't alive. I feel bad. I'm gonna type that out. Mm.
Somewhere in my younger years, my mom did have another child, and I held him once, and she put him up for close adoption the day he was born. I know my two brothers are out there, and more than anything, I just hope that one day they can look at me and I can look at them and we know that we're family. I miss them every day. Even if I knew one brother longer than the other one, I love them both equally. And more than anything, being able to see them again would mean the world to me. So, as everything got worse and worse within my life, my parents started taking more drugs. Even though my parents were separated, my mom was living down the street with her boyfriend in a different trailer, which was literally 10 feet away. So, I was in class yet again, and I get called to the office. About school, I never went. I didn't care about school. Things that were happening at home were ruining my education because that's all I thought about. I'd either miss school or I'd just not care. Like, I'd go and I wouldn't do any of the work. School was hard. I got made fun of every single day. The few friends I did have actually weren't my friends. They weren't. I mean, the way they treated me isn't how a friend should treat another friend. But every day I was bullied. I was the smelly kid. I was the fat girl. That's how people knew me. I was Fat Amber. I didn't know how to handle it, but I just got bigger and bigger. But as I was in class one day, I got called to the office, the cops came, and yet again, me and my brother were being put into foster care. It was hard. That's the biggest word you can use for such an experience. Is it's hard. It's overwhelming and depressing. You don't know what to do when you're put into strangers' homes. You don't know what to do when you're put into a children's shelter. You kind of just have to go with the flow. It's like you're caged in. It's just hard. But this time was a little different. I was in the shelter for months, and I had this daily visit with my mom.
Hmm.
I have to go with the flow. It's like you're caged in. It's just hard. But this time was a little different. I was in the
Different? Different. That's a nitpick. I'm nitpicking her a lot here. But I mean, a lot of this is, I mean, another category to clarify when she's like running words together versus like actual nitpicks. I'm gonna give her different. No, no, I'm not. Different? Yeah, I give it a nitpick. Nitpick.
shelter for months, and I had this daily visit with my mom where I was allowed to spend the whole day with her, with my brother as well, once a week. And so we did that, and I was just texting my friend, simply joking, saying I should live with you because she was my best friend at the time. And little did I know, 2 months later, I was living with her. It was absolutely insane. I don't know how it happened. It happened so quickly, and honestly, at the time, I thought this was beginning to a whole new life that I was gonna love every minute of. But I was definitely wrong.
Hmm. Okay. Okay, so this auto played, but I'm actually gonna stop this here. I just kind of wanted to say that she posted the part 4 of her January 2025 Q&A recently. And people have been speculating about the timeline of her foster care experience for a long time, obviously. She did some clarifying. I don't know, she's what, 22, 23 in this video? They're kind of talking about stuff that happened a decade-ish ago, give or take, in this video. I don't really want to nitpick on that, speculate. Um, I don't know if I would be able to remember, exact time frames of what happened that long ago. Um, Maybe look at the comments real quick. Let's check them out. Sort by. You can only do newest first. I mean, there's only 79. We'll go down to the bottom. Um, A lot of sympathy, support. Hope you find peace. Makes me feel totally different about you. And past is not your future. Yeah, not really much here. Okay. And then more recently, there's some gibberish. And then you're getting some hate from a year ago. Okay. Well, this will be the next video. We got a good bit here. A lot of these are her kind of cluttering her words together. Should we make another category? There was a couple others where she kind of ran words together. I don't know. If you have thoughts, maybe we can go back and check it out and I can update later. But yeah, I think that's going to be it so far. We're getting a good count here. We're not even that far in. I mean, this is really kind of petty and dumb. Of course, this is going to be the top category. I added a couple onto here. Legos and legs. Yeah. We'll keep going next time. Thanks for watching. And subscribe for more.